Back from another break.
Yes. We're talking about age, how gracefully I'm aging.
Nobody said that, bro. You must have been thinking that in your head.
How would it feel to get beat by a 55-year-old in hoops?
I wouldn't know, bro.
I couldn't beat you in hoops, I don't think.
Yeah, I haven't hooped in a
Were you a good one-on-one player? That's a unique skill. Like,
it is.
There's dudes who weren't as good as me, but they were good in one-on-one. That's a specific skill set.
When I grew up, we still played 21 a lot.
Oh yeah, I love 21.
But then
I could beat you in that.
No, bro. No, you can't beat me anything basketball.
I can outshoot you.
No, you cannot, bro. Anyway, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, when I got to college, though, we started playing 3 dribbles a lot, which is like one-on-one from spots, and you only get 3 dribbles to try to get your shot off.
I never played that. That's a dope.
I never heard of it until I got to college, but now that's like the thing.
That's hard.
Mm-hmm. Then we would play 2 dribbles sometimes.
Damn.
And you only got that to get your shot off.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm. And it's only 1 shot.
21, I'm hella good at 21.
I haven't played 20. Kids don't even play 21 no more.
Really? It's a great game.
They do what I'm saying, 3 dribbles.
I don't like that.
Even in high school, they do it. But we didn't start doing that until I had never probably played 3 dribbles until
And then when you play 21, you play if you miss the free throw, then you drop down
to 12.
To 12. Damn, that's a hell of punishment.
We
drop it down to 15.
Oh no, we dropped to 12.
Wow.
12 or 11, I can't remember. One of the two.
Wow.
And we would play tip-ins too. So
last time I played 21, it was dope. It was me, Tony Renault.
Were you guys playing like on a milk crate?
No, motherfucker. We was playing at what's the gym? Jack London. The gym in Jack London. Isn't that the Rebels program does that?
It's called Open Gym Premier now, but it was called Soldier Town.
No.
Jamtown?
Jamtown.
Well, that's all the same place.
Okay.
But it went from Jamtown to Soldier Town.
There. We played there. It was me, my two partners from LA, and Mark Spears from ESPN.
Oh wow.
And Mark played and he played in college and shit. But I remember we were playing 21. I actually won twice because I missed my free throw and I came back and beat them all again. And I remember Mark was talking shit because he hit a shot on me and he was like, "They paid me to play."
Oh, wow.
And of course I got the ball back, hit a jumper in his face, and said they should have paid me. But yeah, no, shooting I can definitely outshoot you, like doing like 3 points, definitely free throws.
Neither one, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not even gonna be fair. And I'm being serious though.
Look, we're going to go to the gym and we're going to record this.
Mm-hmm. We're going to record an episode at the gym playing this game and speaking and talking topics while we're shooting.
I mean, I feel like I could beat you in 21 just because I'm in better shape at the moment.
You still won't beat me in 21.
Okay, well, listen, the best thing about this is easily solvable.
And then when you lose, then what? Like, are we gonna?
We can put a wager on it.
Okay, I like that.
I'm just good. The shame. I mean, listen. As we talked about before, the town has not been doing too great in.
Oh my God! Right now. You know how I know that y'all aren't used to winning because everybody is like, act like y'all won a game before, bro. Like, have some class, like a little bit, bro. You ever heard of sportsmanship?
Never. All right, so we're gonna do that. That is to come.
That is challenge accepted on camera.
3 different challenges.
Okay.
A free throw shoot. We'll end it with the free throw shooting contest. A 3-point contest.
21.
And a 21.
What about horse?
We could do horse.
Okay.
I'm not a great horse player. I
don't do crazy shots though. I shoot regular shots.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna.
I don't do crazy.
Just different spots. I'm not gonna be throwing it behind my back trying to make it and shit.
Yeah, I don't do that shit either.
So yeah, it's locked in.
It's locked in.
All right, bet. Good luck.
You'll need it.
All right. You should start practicing.
No.
Like getting ready.
You know, this is actually. Have you ever experienced? Sometimes my first day back.
It's rough.
No,
you just don't
great.
miss.
And then the days after the first day, I struggle sometimes.
I've had that.
That's weird.
When I used to go through shooting slumps, I would just lift weights before games. You
would lift before games?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh. That's not uncommon though. Even in college, like usually you play 7:30. You go through a weight workout.
Lifting before I shoot always threw my shot off.
I just shoot free throws. I would shoot free throws and bank shots to get my touch back. Right. I don't know. It was always something weird about lifting that would help me get.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
When was the last time you lifted?
I haven't worked out in a while like that. I want to get back into lifting though, but I got to lose some weight before because I don't like being too bulky.
Right.
And I get addicted to weights, bro. Like
right.
When I'm in workout mode, it's like I'll be lifting a lot. But I haven't lifted in a while.
You've been doing the
spin class.
Yeah.
I haven't went in a while though. It's tough now that I live in Hayward, to be honest with you.
They got them out there.
Yeah, I know, but it's like I know the instructor at this one.
Yeah,
she works for the town actually. She's the social media manager for the town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I know her. She's the one who got me into it. Okay. And like the music is good because I know all the songs. It's like she's playing R&B and hip hop, so you got to go to the beat and all of that.
Should we? What I don't want is that when you lose and we have it on video, that you don't want to put it out.
Oh no, I'll put it out because I'm not gonna lose.
Okay.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Like there's not a chance.
It's gonna be a sweep. You're gonna sweep me. Free throws, 3-point.
Well,
21 and horse. You're sweeping it.
Well, hold on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with. I say we start off with just 3-pointers to kind of get warmed up. Then we play 21.
Okay.
Then we play horse, and then we do free throws. So once I beat you in the first 3, I'll just shoot. I'll just shoot free throws left-handed.
All right, Bo Kim.
Are you left or right? You're right-handed.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
But I go both ways.
Yeah.
So.
Pause, bro. What? I was watching.
It was coming.
I was pause, bro.
Yo, look. I always felt that taking. See, I shouldn't tell you this because now you're gonna know. I'm not even gonna tell you.
Say it.
I'm not gonna tell you shit.
So you keeping secrets from me? That's weird, bro. That's weird. At this point, that's weird. That's weird. Say it.
No, because I can't. Because then you're gonna. Because that's gonna play out when we play in 21.
Bro, just say it, bro.
I'm not gonna do it.
Wow, you are a cornball, bro. All right, so this is locked in.
This is locked in.
All right,
you are committed. Like you.
And the good thing is I got a gym for us too.
Back to spin class because
I got a gym for us too.
55-year-old's in good ass shape, and
I'm not, but I'm still not gonna lose, bro.
Okay. What'd you say the order was? Three. We're
gonna do 3-pointers, just kind of get loose, get our blood flowing a little bit.
Okay.
And then
21.
And then horse.
And horse.
And then I'll shoot left-handed.
Then you'll lose
to give you a chance.
Okay. No, you're not shooting left-handed.
Bro, if I'm sweep you in the first 3 events, I'm gonna shoot lefty. Because it's like I love you, right? And I don't want you to never. I want to do this multiple times. I don't want you to never go to the gym with me again. It's like I gotta say, "Hey, P, come to the gym with me. I'll let you be on my team." Hoops? Oh, it's been years.
Okay, so this idea that you're gonna go back and
that shit is like riding a bike, bro. And you know what's crazy?
All jokes aside, town is gonna love the fact that I got you back in the gym.
All jokes aside,
I'm gonna
be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. All jokes aside, and I'm not even being funny with this, but now that I've been coaching, obviously. So just being in the gym and like feeling the ball, my touch comes back, and I'm not even being funny.
No,
even if I'm not shooting, just handling, like messing around, dribbling the ball, my touch comes back. So it's like I never stopped.
Okay, well, listen, I look forward to listen. I'm the underdog.
Do not try to paint that narrative, bro.
You are
already trying to get like sympathy votes.
I'm an underdog in this situation.
I see what you're doing. That was intelligent.
I'm
that was good. That's the politician in you, bro.
Look,
that's the politician in you.
A fucking fact.
But you're trying to set that.
You are.
Oh my gosh, bro! I'm editing all this shit out. I'm editing all this shit out.
You're a state champion runner-up, right? Because you got blew out in the title game.
I did. That's a sensitive subject.
That's why I used it. You should have never told me that. This is going to hurt worse than that. That's the gift I'm giving you. I'm going to give you a loss I'm going to take away the sting of the championship.
That shit doesn't sting no more.
Okay, so a state champ runner-up, a D1 fucking athlete, and a really well-known coach is going to lose to a fucking unknown. This is Rocky Balboa, Apollo Creed, bro.
Bro, you are so phony.
That's what this is.
Like, and it's
and
so
when I hit
funny.
The last shot, I'm going to go, Adrian.
It's so funny that like you're trying to paint this narrative when you lose, it could be like
underdog.
It could be like, oh, I wasn't supposed to beat you anyway.
I'm just a humble baseball player.
And you challenged me.
I'm a humble baseball player.
Okay, then we got to do one where we go to the batting cages, and I'll show you what this thing do. Pause. Bro, I'm not weak in baseball either, bro. I really could play anything. You see, I'm out here playing disc golf now. Like, come.
Well, we've never seen it.
You can come out there too, bro. Listen, I don't have.
You can get it in.
Yes, bro. Like I don't have no picks. I'm competitive, bro.
listen, you have a very decent chance in hoops because of your experience.
Okay.
The batting cages, you just don't.
How would we do that though? How would we do that?
What do you mean?
Could you pitch? Because I'll send your shit out the park.
Oh my God. Well, listen, we can play strikeouts.
What is that?
Okay. It's the fact that you don't even know.
I got to pitch to you?
Yeah, fuck yeah, you do.
I got an arm though.
Oh my.
And I played quarterback. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. I don't think you don't give me like the respect that I deserve as an overall athlete, bro. A jack of all trades. You think it's just basketball.
It's just basketball.
But that's like disrespectful to me,
I'm
though.
a better athlete than you.
Bro,
it's
disc golf, miniature golf. Didn't I serve you in miniature?
Golf is not even
Didn't I serve you in miniature golf?
Bro, I
No.
posted the scorecard.
Bro, but it was edits on there, bro. It was edits on there. You thought I didn't see that?
We have 2 witnesses.
Who?
My nephew.
You
and
paid
your
them
nephew.
off though. That's the politician in you, bro.
The best part about this is we are recording this shit, and I'm actually not even gonna trust you to fucking record it and have a fucking camera fucking malfunction from fucking you.
I wouldn't do that, bro.
Yes, you would.
I wouldn't.
You already fucking trying to say you beat me in mini golf. You got blown out,
bro. The score that you came up with was nowhere near close,
bro. You got beat by 4 strokes. Pause.
I don't think that's accurate.
That's fucking a lot, bro.
You got to do a recount.
Show the people. This is the camera. Here it is. Yeah, I don't know if this is me. There it is. 44-40. Another loss for the town.
It's not true, bro.
All right, enough of that bullshit.
But yeah, we was just having a really good talk about just parenting and different ideologies when it comes to certain conversations with kids.
Did you ever answer if you would be? We got sort of into a conversation about sexual conversations with our kid. Did you ever say how you would react to somebody? I can't remember. Did you cover that?
Yeah, remember I said I sent on both sides. As a parent, and then as the one that gets confided in.
Sometimes your points aren't very memorable.
Oh wow. It's crazy. That was a good one. I didn't have a comeback. I'm somebody that if I don't have a comeback, I just won't respond. Even on Twitter when people come at me.
That happens a lot.
No, it doesn't.
Not on Twitter.
I always have something witty to say.
We don't waste that shit on Twitter.
Yeah, I can't say what I really say on Twitter.
Oh, dude, I wish I could talk how I want to talk on Twitter.
I would be canceled.
I would be so canceled.
But yeah, coming off that conversation with the kids and stuff, I just wanted to, talk more about. Obviously, we both have kids, and we aren't with the mother of our kids, mothers of our kids, I should say.
Are you like?
I had to point that out.
On blast,
shit,
bro?
Me too.
5 kids, 3 baby mamas. Yeah. I'm that guy.
I'm 2 and 2. 2 with 2. 2 with 2. And blending families and when it comes to how do you respond if and you have adult kids too, so this is gonna be interesting for you.
Yeah.
How do you respond when, your spouse and your kids just don't mesh for whatever reason?
Yeah, I'm so fucking glad that never happened, and I can't even imagine that happening, to be honest. Like, I feel like if that happened, that means you picked the wrong person.
The spouse.
Yeah. I feel like you picked the wrong fucking person, bro, because, like, how? Now, in fairness, sometimes kids are fucking assholes.
That's what I was just about to say.
So, yes, that so I shouldn't say that, but I mean, so it's so deep, like with Jessica, my first wife. I mean, look, I had a baby outside the marriage.
Really?
I mean, we were broken up, but then, but basically, yes.
Technically.
Yeah, like the math didn't math in my favor. And she's such a fucking real one that she never held that against the child.
That's dope.
Because our mentality, and this was actually the same with Liam's mom too. The kids ain't got nothing to do with nothing, man. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Like, to this day, Jessica goes out of her way to make sure that Jalen is a part of stuff. She sends. I mean, I basically broke up with her to be with Liam's mom, so she could have felt a way about that, but she'll send Liam Christmas gifts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she a real one, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, it is dope.
That's dope.
But I couldn't imagine being in a situation where that was a problem. Have you experienced that? Either yourself or someone really close to you?
was funny because like my dad's ex-wife and my older sister actually had a fight.
Damn.
At one of my basketball games.
Like
yeah.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah. My older sister like punched her.
Who was in the wrong?
I don't know. I was pissed though. I was mad at all parties involved.
Just because
it started off with her and my mom getting into it. I don't even remember over what.
The girlfriend or
the wife? This was a wife.
The wife. Mm-hmm. So the wife and moms got into it,
and my sister jumped in. Yeah.
And you were mad at everybody.
Yeah, I was embarrassed. Literally, because they spilled onto the court. The game stopped.
Wow. Yep. And you're just like,
oh, I was pissed, and they knew I was pissed.
What'd you say?
I didn't say shit. I didn't say nothing to nobody. They knew I was livid.
So why? What did you do?
I got in the car with my mom and didn't talk.
Wow, that's rare.
Yeah, but she knew I was mad though.
So did you never talked about it?
No, I didn't care. There's nothing that you can say that justifies you. I don't care about the argument, the actual punches being thrown.
Everybody was involved in the fracas?
My dad was trying to break. They were
we guys get fucking words today. Fisticuffs, fracas.
And you had one earlier too that was good. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. We're playing, so I'm on the.
This is at Mac.
No. This is AAU, but we're playing. We're in Cupertino.
Well, that's a little better. Still embarrassing.
Well, at Mac it would have been more fitting. This is. I'm just being honest, bro. This is like my mentor now, and we're in Cupertino playing at this gym that we used to always play out there, and we're in the game. I'm on the bench at the time, and I don't even know if I was playing. I might have been still hurt from my ACL, but I was at the game. For whatever reason, I'm sitting down, and I just remember seeing them get up. I see my dad trying to break it up, and like I said, they're spilling onto the court now, and my mom is just kind of just barking, and my sister just reaches over my dad and just like punches her.
Oh shit!
And then they finally break it up, and I'm just like, "Are you fucking serious, bro? Like, you know how embarrassing that is?"
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
But I never really had issues with my dad's wife because I lived with him at a point when I was going to school.
You know what the fight was over?
I don't remember. But she was real. She used to poke at.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just my mom. She had issues with like my dad's side of my aunts and them, and they're not them type of people. Like they welcome my granny was the house where everybody would come over and eat. The neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like she was that lady in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And my dad's ex-wife just had issues with everybody. Wow. She could be, like I said, never directed at me specifically. But it was just weird. And I was young, so it was probably stuff that I didn't know. I was a kid.
Sure.
So it's probably stuff, and they kind of split when I might have been like a sophomore.
So you never talked to anybody about it? Never you talked to your sister about it, your dad, the girl, the wife, or your mom?
It was so long ago, I can't remember exactly what the underlying issue was, but it was just women being women at the end of the day. It was a lot of catty shit.
Right.
Eyes rolling, not speaking.
Sis ain't playing.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of.
Don't talk to my mom like
that. Exactly. So I was kind of more so like just thinking hypothetically, right? If Josiah gets to, 15, 16, I'm in a serious relationship, and for whatever reason, he's just not feeling her. Now you not feeling my kid is just get the fuck out of here. Bye. You know what I mean? But I've literally had this conversation with people, right? Somebody really close to me, kind of in a similar situation. He has 2 young kids, is in a relationship now with a girl who has a young son close in age, but his kids are not being, and they're young, like Jordan's age, 4 and 3, and they're just not accepting. Like but they vocalize it though. I don't like her. At this age. And I asked him, I was like, so what do you do in that moment? And his response was kind of like, shit, this ain't none of their business type thing. And I was just like, damn, that's so interesting. Like that you take that approach, because I've never really thought about what I would do in that instance, but I don't know if I would just pick a spouse over my kids if it's not, if the relationship isn't meshing.
How old are the kids?
4 and 3.
In that situation?
Yeah, they're young.
No, come on, man. And what was his response?
Like, I don't care how they feel about it. That
ain't gonna work.
But I don't think that's a hot take though. I think a lot of people feel like that. Now I think it comes down to, again, the type of kid we're dealing with. If this is just a kid that causes havoc for everybody.
Yeah, there's some badass kids out there.
You know what I mean? And then it's like age plays a big part, right?
Age does.
Because these kids don't even realize, I think, what they're really saying.
Yeah. And I've been obviously, my first Jessica, I was the
were they receptive to you off the bat?
Oh my God. Well, when you're finished, I'll tell the story.
Well, I'm pretty much done. That's just I'm more so asking, like, what do you do in that moment? Like, do you pick your kids or do you pick this person that you love?
I mean, I don't think the first instance is a choice situation. I think it's like, okay, hold on. Now this is
how do we get to the bottom of this?
If I'm gonna be with you, like we're gonna be together. First of all, you should, unless you're really gonna be with somebody, they shouldn't meet your kids. That's something we've talked about. Like I don't like people who just introduce multiple people to their kids. You should only meet your boyfriend or girlfriend if you've damn near finna like really be with that person.
I agree.
Like, because the kids might get attached to them. There's a lot of shit that can go in there. So, but if in the first instance, I don't think it's a choice situation, either or. I think it's like, yo, these are my babies. You're the adult. You gotta make this work. Now, I've got great kids. You've got great kids. So, like, who the fuck could have a problem with the kids?
Exactly.
But if it was something. If something wasn't meshing, I think it's just you got to have those conversations. But ultimately, I believe it's on the adults to make it work for the kids, man. Unless there's some extreme behavioral issue. But even then, right? Like, okay, let's say you had a kid who has some behavioral issues and you're dealing with that as a single parent, then you start dating somebody. If they want to be with you, they signing up for that.
For sure.
You signing up for whatever that is, man.
But I think
the kids ain't choose to be here.
And I'm glad you made that point because I feel like as an adult, you should be able to rectify that situation.
Accommodate.
However,
whatever it is.
You got to be the bigger person. But let's say the kid, for whatever reason, again, 15, 16, and it's just, fuck that. I'm not buying into this situation. I don't want... And we can even take it to the next step, right? Let's say if you meet somebody with a kid that's a teenage boy that's 15, 16, going through that phase of feeling like a young man now, and he's just challenging you for whatever reason.
That's gonna happen.
Like, how would you approach that? And again, we're hypothetically speaking. You're the stepdad.
Okay.
Coming into single mother.
Yeah. When I first started dating Jessica, obviously the kids were 1 and 3, so they were babies. Mm-hmm. And I remember I spoke to my best friend Denfield's mom, who was like a mom to me, because Denfield's dad, Legs, wasn't his biological dad. We wouldn't have known that the way Legs was like that was his dad, and his biological dad wasn't around. But Legs was such a active father, not just to him, but to us. We thought it was his dad, and it wasn't until later when Denfield said that ain't my real father. You know what I'm saying? So when I started dating Jessica, I remember I went to see Cynthia, and I said, "Hey, Mom, I'm dating this girl, and she has 2 kids. I just wanted to," and she gave me a piece of advice that was interesting. And again, this is a woman who had a man come into her life and raise her kids as his own.
How old are the kids at the time?
That Legs came around?
No, for you.
1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Yeah. I don't know how old Denfield was, but let's see. Denfield and we got close in 4th grade, so Legs was around then.
10. So he was early, probably.
Yeah, he was early, yeah. So I
Cynthia,
I said, "Ma, I'm dating this woman, and she has 2 kids. I just wanted, And she said, "Well, son, I'll give you this advice. If you are not allowed to discipline the kids, you turn and walk away and never look back."
Really?
Yes. This is from a woman who had a man come. But if you think about it, that's correct. That's where a lot of the problems could come in, right? If that kid is being disrespectful and being out of pocket, and both you and the mom are not like, yo, this is not okay, and not in sync on that, that's going to cause constant problems in the relationship. It was very wise advice that she gave me.
I think that's a good point. Now, that's tricky for me because
she didn't necessarily mean beating them.
Of course. But see, I don't really do well with other people disciplining my kids.
I get that. And that's maybe, that's maybe something to think about. Like,
this is not even just.
Let's use it, even correcting them. And you say other people, because I feel like this. If you had Liam, if you was with Liam and Josiah, and of course neither one of them would ever do this, but Liam's getting out of pocket or whatever, he did something. I want you get your ass over here. You're not gonna hit him.
Right.
We're not hitters, but I think there is value in the village being able to correct your child if they're out of pocket.
1,000%. Yeah. I don't disagree.
But I think a lot of people think like you do, if that's really how you think.
No, it is.
I'll say it. You ain't got to say it.
It is how I think, but as I just said that out loud to myself, I'm realizing that I'm changing.
Okay. It's the same thing, right? If I had the boys at Great America, which I don't think is open anymore, and they were fucking up, you would expect me to pull them aside and say, "What are y'all doing?"
Exactly, 1,000%. 1,000%. But again, I know you.
This is true.
So
but if you were dating someone, you would know them too.
But see, when I say other people, I'm not even really specific. I'm even talking about some people that I might even fuck with outside of a romantic relationship.
Okay, but on the
family members.
Okay.
Things like that.
Okay.
And we'll talk off camera a little bit, but I've experienced this where it's like, you come talk to me if you have an issue with my child. Don't say shit. Don't say shit to my kid.
Okay.
Straight up.
And you feel that way because you know them?
Yes.
Okay. So now you're dating somebody.
So it's someone I'm dating.
Yeah, someone you're dating. You're really into this person, but Josiah, well, let's make it Jordan. Jordan is, 13, and she is just smelling herself. And she's not feeling this girl or this woman at all. But Jordan's in the wrong. She's being a little fucker. And you ain't home. Me and you on a podcast tour somewhere, and the girls are at home, and there's a problem.
Yeah. She has all right to 1,000%. 1,000%.
Okay.
Because at this point, you're under our roof, so our rules and the way this house operates is going to be a collective of her and I anyway. Right. So you have to adhere to these rules whether I'm here or not. Okay. This isn't as extreme, but I had to get on my little basketball team the other day because I run to the bathroom and I come back out and my assistant coach, who's a lady, she's telling them to do something, and then one of the kids is like, well, why, or something, and it's like, well, you don't question me. Why? What makes you think you can question her? She has the same power as me as a coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I told my kids that there is no hierarchy in this. Right. We're both Coach Michelle and Coach Justin.
Coach is coach.
Right. Period. Don't talk back to her. Treat her just like you are intimidated by me a little bit.
Right.
So I do stand in that. Now, who this person is plays a big deal. Right. But like I said, if I'm dating you today, you probably are going to have free reigns too. And I think it's hard for me to kind of hypothetically speak about this because of how Josiah is.
Yeah.
Because you kind of even touched on it with him and Liam. It's like,
right,
they're not bad kids. No, but they could go through a phase.
Well, and they're
going to make mistakes for sure.
You know? And we don't know. Well, you've experienced it, but I haven't introduced anyone to Liam yet. But when I do, which is coming up pretty soon, he's gonna, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
Wow!
But to me, it also is important for the parent.
What do you mean?
So for the biological parent to set that up the right way.
So in this situation, you setting this up or not?
Conversations before they meet the person.
Got you.
And like, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of the onus falls on the biological parent to set both the child and the person who's, coming into the situation up for success.
True.
That's where leadership comes in. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I think with my last situation with Josiah, he was so young when he was introduced. So it's kind of, he's been knowing her his whole life. Mm-hmm. But I would be lying if I didn't say there were times where there were things that happened that I was uncomfortable with when it came to
how she responded to things, or
interesting. Yeah, she's never, and this isn't even disciplinarian way. This isn't like her disciplining him, or it would just be certain moves you would make I just didn't see as okay when it comes to my son. Right. You know, like
now did she end up doing that when Jordan was a baby?
And we weren't living together.
Right.
Since we haven't lived together since.
Because I'm not sure in that situation that she wouldn't have acted any differently with Jordan than Josiah. Right.
Never know.
Never know.
Never know.
You know what I mean?
And I also think she had never been a parent.
Because we don't in our family, and I'm saying when I say our family, I mean going back to Jessica, because it's all one family.
Right.
Really. We don't use step.
Oh yeah, we don't.
I don't believe in that.
We don't either.
You either a parent or a child. You're not this.
Yeah, I call my stepdad Pops.
Of course.
Yeah, and he's been in my life since I was.
But like
about Josiah's age.
Does Josiah call Jordan's mom his stepmom?
He calls her by her name.
And that's
now he does
totally
call her his mom's boyfriend his stepdad. He does say that.
Yeah,
that's their house.
Dante calls. So Dante was 12 when Liam's mom and I when we were all living together.
Okay.
So he was 12. Was he 12? Yeah, 12, 13, something like that.
Okay.
And he doesn't call her mom because it's different. I think to be called mom, you had to be there from like little kid shit.
Right.
He calls her Melissa. They're very close. Very, very close. And they had a really good relationship. There were moments of slight little tensions. Nothing. I mean, I don't even like saying that because it sounds worse than it ever was.
Right.
But in those moments when I would say to Melissa, I understand, I did this, she would respond with a good point, though. She was like, well, they weren't teenagers. They were little babies and there's a difference. Going back to your point. It matters what age the child is. The teen years are the most challenging, obviously.
Right. And I kind of want to clean up what I said a little bit as well, because she was great with Josiah. Like I
was.
Still is.
Great.
Yeah, like they don't. We've had a conversation one time, and
in 9 years.
Right. And the conversation we had, she completely was like, oh my God, I didn't even look at it that way.
That's hella dope.
You know what I mean?
She saw it.
And she understood where I was coming from and where I was like.
That says a lot.
And I'll tell you the story of what happened when we get off camera. But so she, like I said, I don't want to make it seem like.
Right. There's some major.
Like him with her. You know what I mean? Like if if I got to go make a run or I got somewhere to go, he would stay home with her, and I would trust that he's okay.
If she had Jordan and you had Josiah and you like an emergency popped up, you had to go babysit me, and you had to drive. You're like, hey, would she watch Josiah?
In a heartbeat.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
Well, she getting props in her book for all that, because that's how it should be.
And that's why I wanted to walk back kind of the way that came off of what I said, because I had to also offer her grace in realizing that she had never been a parent. So
that's why I'm not sure the Get Out stuff wouldn't have happened even with a child that was of
hers.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. But in that instance, I don't have to take the child. In this instance, I do.
Correct.
Because this is my son.
Right.
I think her being a parent now, a lot of that shit that I had issues with in the past, she wouldn't even dare do now because she sees it.
She sees it and feels
it. And like I said, when we finally had a conversation one time, I was like, this didn't sit well with me. And again, the way she responded to it was amazing, like you said. And I don't think we ever had an issue ever since.
Right. That's dope.
As overall though, it wasn't bad at all.
And the telling of the story just sounds like it was a maturity level on her part.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything to do with whether a child.
It wasn't spiteful to.
And I don't think she just wasn't able to think about the fact that the child was there. She just wasn't mature enough and hadn't had a child yet, so she didn't.
She couldn't even look at it from that point of view.
Until you have a kid, you don't get.
Exactly, and that's what it was. I think that was more of it than her intentionally trying to be spiteful. Right. To kind of go back to the original, topic question, it's like if you love this person, right? And this is again when I say the original topic, I mean, if your kid and your spouse don't mix. But you love this person, you want to be with them, but for whatever reason, you can't figure out this issue. And maybe, like I said, maybe they're trying too. Like, I'm trying to make this work with Josiah or Liam, but they just not, they just don't fuck with me for whatever reason. It's like, I don't know what I would do in that situation,
I don't either. That would be tough. I mean, that would be tough, man. I just would find it really hard to not It'd just be hard for me to
not pick your kid.
Not pick my kid. Yeah, again,
I hate saying pick like that.
Of course I would. I mean, you just don't have a choice. Until the kid's 18, you don't have a choice.
Right. But, well, you do.
I guess you do. I don't.
So, okay, let me ask you this. What if it's a situation like this, right? You're in a relationship with somebody, mm-hmm. and now it's time for them to move in with you. Mm-hmm. And now a conversation has to be had because you have Liam part-time.
Right.
So when he's with you, now he's going to be with y'all.
Someone else, yeah.
Obviously, you love this person enough for you guys to live together. You know, you guys are moving towards something very serious, long-term. And you hit that crossroad of Liam just not feeling it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's not on your spouse's. It's literally just the kid. The spouse doesn't have a problem with the kid. Because I think that's kind of far-fetched, especially for our kids. I hate to keep saying that, but yeah. I don't see anybody coming in and not liking Josiah or Liam.
No,
or Jordan.
But they may operate in a way that it's kind of that the kid has a justification for not feeling something. Like I don't want, like it's also would be hard for me to think that either, again, we're talking about our kids, but
right.
If Liam wasn't feeling somebody, it would make me feel like, well, there's something there.
Exactly.
There's something there. Even if it wasn't somebody's doing something on purpose.
Right.
But that's our kids. There are other kids who are just, they're just spiteful or they're just whatever.
Right. Let's go back to the.
You were going to ask a question. I think.
Right. I want to actually take it off of Liam.
Okay.
And go back to your situation with early on. How were they receptive to you?
Oh yeah, that's a great story. So the kids are 1 and 3 or somewhere there, 1.5 and 3.5 or whatever. And so Napresha, and the kid's biological father was, we both grew up in the neighborhood. He was, he was a factor in our neighborhood. He was actually incarcerated at the time. And, but he was known for getting active, mm-hmm. as was I. But Napresha, I remember like a couple weeks into us dating, Napresha looked at me and she goes, "My daddy gonna whoop your ass."
And what was your response?
I cracked up. And I said, "Baby girl, don't even worry about it. I think we're gonna be all right."
Wow.
It just made me laugh. Yeah. But the kid's biological father, though, was putting stuff in their head, in their ear. You know what I mean?
And I think that
no, that happens.
I pause on that story real quick. I think with the situation I brought up earlier with a friend of mine, mm-hmm. I think the mom is doing a lot of that.
See, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I think it happens a lot.
A lot. But go ahead and finish the story.
And then with my oldest son, there was one time. And he was a baby, so like nothing. I didn't take it seriously, but we were doing something, and he looked at me and said, "I hate you." Mm-hmm. And I looked at him and I said, "Well, I love you."
Right.
And my point was, look, they ain't got nothing to do with none of this. I'm just gonna love on these babies. I'm choosing her. She has 2 kids, so it's on me to make this work.
And I think to go back to like, putting it in us today with like Liam and Josiah, who are both, Liam's 10, Josiah's 9.
No, Liam's 9.
Liam's 9?
Yeah.
When will he be 10?
In April.
Really?
Or did is he
10?
Yeah,
I think he's 10.
Is he? Oh, fuck, I don't even know how old
I'm gonna cut this out.
I thought he was 9.
No, because I thought he was a year older than Josiah.
Is he? I thought it was the other way.
What grade is he in?
He's in 3rd grade.
Yeah, Josiah is 2, so maybe he is 9.
Okay.
Whatever, shit, it's the same thing.
Come on. You got 5, you don't even fucking remember the fucking names half the time.
Okay, so I think when it comes to like, let's say we put it back on Josiah and Liam, right? I think with the way that our kids are, if, like you said, if there is something, there's probably something there. But then I also think when it comes to like my boy who says he's gonna choose his spouse, mm-hmm. kind of, I don't want to say choose over the kids, but the kids got to deal with it. This is who I love, and that was kind of his sentiment. This is who I love. This ain't got nothing to do with them. This is my relationship.
And how old are the kids again? They're young.
4 and 3.
Yes, young.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was gonna get to. It's like, if you, and I hate that we keep saying pick your, like you're picking sides, but if you pick the children in that instance and you in the relationship or whatever, mm-hmm. it sucks because a lot of the times when the kids grow older, those feelings are probably going to change. Right? Because like you said, your stepson told you, and I know we don't do the step, but like in that moment, I hate you. You didn't take that personal.
No, I didn't take
and this 4 and 3-year-old saying I don't like her, in a few years, they're probably not going to feel like that anymore. So why wouldn't you choose the relationship over?
Okay, I get that. I think
it's just the wording of it is what makes it sound bad. Like, I'm choosing her over my kids.
Exactly, because that's what I was saying. It's not an either or. It's like we got to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure this out.
And if it just can't get to the bottom underlying issue, what do you do, bro?
Like that would be crazy to me. I don't know.
You just think you're that much of a hell of a person that you just could just figure anything out, huh? That's pretty much what you're saying.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think if I was dating somebody and it couldn't be figured out, I would just be like, okay, well, fuck. Like, there's something, like, this just isn't the right person. Like, ultimately it does, but I keep saying that, but there are some badass fucking kids out there, bro. There are some badass
And then, like
kids,
we keep saying, bro, depending on that age, they could just be going through that rebellious phase where just any decision you make,
tough.
They're gonna.
And I'm just, as we talk about it, I'm thinking of things I've said to people about, you know, when I talk to people who have kids, I'm like, make sure as a couple you guys take time for yourself. And the reason I say that is because I always say to people, these motherfuckers leave. They leave. Kids leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't stay forever. So, and you may be missing out on the person you want to be with, but, you know, again,
it's tricky. I think there's so many different factors that have to play into.
It is.
Like you said, what is the disconnect? Is the kid just being an asshole?
Yep.
Are you doing some shit when I'm not around that's making my kid uncomfortable? You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's hard to kind of generalize this because there's so many factors that play a part. But it's interesting though when you think about it. And it's especially for you and myself, it's a possibility.
I don't think you answered though what you would do. This is what you always do. You turn this into a fucking interview, and I give the answers, and you get to fucking not fucking commit to anything. You have commitment issues, bro.
I do. I'm learning that.
You have commitment issues, bro.
I'm putting my investigator hat on, bro, in that moment.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just going to have to figure it out.
See what the fuck's happening when you eat it.
Yeah. And then, like I said, Jordan is so young still, so her personality is still forming. But like with Josiah, it's just hard for me to fathom.
That's the problem. It's a tough question for us to figure out. But let's just say it's Jordan. Jordan just
is a firecracker, and she's just a lot. But you meet this person and y'all dating, and it's just all of the frustrations you've dealt with in dating is gone, and this person is just checking. For whatever reason, Jordan ain't feeling it.
For some reason, maybe it's a combination of all the things we've talked about, you know, and she's just not feeling her.
Yeah, bro, I don't know what the fuck I would do.
It's tough. No, I know, because my immediate thing was, well, I'm picking my kids, but as we've talked about,
you know what I think I will be my first step. I think that's kind of how we should answer this. Like, what would be step number one when this is brought to your attention, right? Whether it's coming from the kid or the spouse. I think step number one is I'm going to go talk to my spouse.
For sure.
And just see what their perspective of it.
For sure.
Now, your response and me bringing this to your attention
is going to say a lot.
It's going to tell me damn near everything I need to know.
Probably so. That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because if you can't have just a really measured, stable, calm conversation about it.
And then and I think that's why, again, I feel like every fucking episode we're talking about why you and I are so close, and it makes my skin crawl.
But you're the one who always brings it up.
I am, right? But I think the person that I want to settle down with, I would expect for them to approach this solution with solution-based thinking.
Yes.
It's like, okay, what's the disconnect? How do we fix it?
Right.
Is it salvageable, first of all? Do we think so? Like, can we...
Yeah.
Can we get to the bottom of this, or do we need to? And then I think the kid, again, depending on age and what their perspective is, I think a conversation with them needs to be had as well. And I had that conversation with Josiah when it came to my ex.
Tell me about that. How old was he?
I don't remember exactly, but we were living together still. So he had to be, we broke up in 2018. So he had to be maybe 4.
Wow.
But we had an incident, right? This is going to be a crazy story. I've never given Josiah a whooping in his whole life.
Okay.
I don't think his mom has either. She's maybe popped him or something. But I had just come home from work, and at this time I'm selling cars, so my off days were during the week. And he wasn't in school yet, so he would be with me, whatever, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, my off days. I come in the house or whatever. He was home with her. I come in the house or whatever. I don't know if she tells him to do something or if he asked her for something and she said no. I don't know what the case was, but he walked in the room and slammed his door, like as he was upset. And before she could react, I reacted.
Right, which is how it should be.
And it was like, have you lost your mind? Like, and go lay your ass down. Right. You know what I mean? And, and when he woke up, I'm sorry. And that's how Josiah has always been. But outside of that, he's just so, like, nonchalant. It's like he don't even.
How did she respond to that? Or she just didn't even get a chance to because you jumped on it so quick.
Yeah, but I think she appreciated how I responded.
Right.
But she also knows me. She know I don't play the bad kid shit. Period. I don't either. I don't do the bad kids
at all.
Yeah, we're not having behavior issues.
No,
yeah.
Not here.
You gonna listen? You gonna do what the fuck I say? And
when I say.
Exactly, like,
and that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, we never had. But so the conversation I had with Josiah was like, how do you feel about so and so? Like, is she mean to you? Do you think she's mean to you? How is it when I'm not around? I've had this talk about his mom's new boyfriend too. Because they live together now, so that was big. Because I told when they first decided to move in with each other, his mom came to me and was like, I want to talk to you, and we have that relationship, and I appreciate that.
Right, for sure.
We're about to do this. I just want to let you know, I already talked to Josiah about it. He said he's okay with it. I told him, he's still going to have his own room. He's going to have a lock on his door because Josiah's like that. When the other kids, because he has kids also.
Right. So it's a blended family.
Right.
Yeah.
And he has twins that are Josiah's age.
Wow.
But my whole thing was, I told his mom, well, if he wants to come live with me, he can. I'll get a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom or something. At the time, I had a 1-bedroom and it worked because neither one of my kids were with me full time. And like I said, so when it came time to move in, I had the same conversation with him. Was like, well, how do you feel about him? So I like him. He's cool. And it's like, well, anything that I would thought was a red flag. Okay, now I need to either have a conversation with his mom, and then depending on if you feel like you can handle this, then if not, he and I need that talk.
So you didn't introduce him to her before it was time to move in, or you did? Like, did you say, hey, this is my girlfriend, or was this my girlfriend and she's moving in? How did you?
Josiah?
Yeah.
He was only 1.
Oh, okay.
So it was like,
yeah.
So early, he was, he didn't even understand what a girlfriend was. Now with his mom's situation, he's a little bit older.
So how did she handle that?
I think at first it was like a friend thing, and it eventually turned into.
Do you know what the runway for that was?
Do I know like how long it was? No, I don't know the time, but I know that she had a conversation with him. And again, their relationship is. I trust that she can handle that without my interfering.
I just wondered if you knew how she handled it.
I know because, like I said, when she came to me with because first the baby was here, so that was the first thing, right? Now, because I don't think in the moment he knew that Josiah stays in the kid's place, so I don't think he was even putting 2 and 2 together to peep that his mom and her boyfriend's relationship was the same as me and my daughter's mom before my daughter when we lived together, because we slept in the bed together.
Right.
He didn't see that with her. So I don't know if he thought that they were just a family friend or just a situation where,
Right.
And they were family friends. That's the funny thing. And ended up in a relationship, okay. if I remember correctly. But anyway, when it was time to move in together, when it was time for the baby, was the first conversation, because she was worried about that. His mom was scared, like, I don't know how Josiah's gonna take it. And I was too, though, when it came to Jordan. It's like, fuck, he's gonna have to share me. You know what I mean? I don't know how he's gonna take
You
this.
told him, right.
Then when I told him that, Jordan's mom was pregnant.
How old was he?
Let me see. Jordan, he might have been 5 or 6.
Okay, so yeah, that was a long-term relationship.
5 or 6. And he had been knowing
were
her.
already broken up at that point.
Yep, we were already broken up. Yep, I was already living with my mom.
Right. So he hasn't really met anybody from you since then.
No, hell no.
Right.
There hasn't been anybody.
Right. You just been on a whore tour.
Yeah, living my best life, rocking out with my cock out.
Put it away, please. Nobody want to see that.
Yeah, so I've never had the chance to introduce him to somebody. Like I said,
Interesting.
For Jordan's mom, he's been knowing her his whole life.
Right. If Josiah got out of pocket anytime, I'm going to call him a stepdad, you would be okay with him correcting him to a certain degree or not at all?
I don't know. That's tricky.
Okay.
That's tricky.
Okay.
That's tricky.
That's interesting.
It's very tricky.
You said you like him.
I do.
Uh-huh.
But that's tricky.
I don't mean like getting on his ass. I mean just like correcting him on a behavior if he was doing something. Josiah, you can't put that away. They have rules in that house.
Yeah.
But it sounds like sounds like he might not be that great at it if his kids are kind of.
Yeah, and nothing against him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
But then I also don't know how I don't think his mom is going for that either, though.
Okay.
His mom and I, and this is the blessing with, I think, our co-parenting thing, is we share a lot of the same ideologies when it comes to shit like that.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you think that he doesn't, or you just don't know?
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know him well enough. I mean, we haven't even had extensive conversations. I don't think we ever had to. He's always been respectful.
Sure.
Every time, we see each other, we shake hands, say what's up.
And you're never going to have all the kids. You're never going to have his kids.
Hell no. What?
Well, that's what I was asking, because
hell no.
Say because they're not really close. But I was gonna say it was a situation where you took everybody out, and those two twins
acting
up.
Oh, see, I'm correcting shit.
So you
call me a fucking teacher, English teacher. I'm correcting the paper.
Okay, but why can you do that, but other people can't do it?
Because I know my approach, and that's my only reason why.
Your approach. Fuck your approach.
Then we'll take your fucking kids.
But you have them. You're out. You said you'd correct them already.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, but you do see that's a little bit off, right?
Yeah, but life is off. The fuck? Bro, we're all hypocrites, bro. We all contradict ourselves.
That's what you gonna say when your shot is off.
No. I don't know what that's like. I just don't, bro.
Never had an off shooting night, ever.
Of course. I had a game where I was 0 for 10 with 6 turnovers.
Damn, that was a rough one.
My coach benched me, and I was like, bro, I'm going to miss shots. He was like, fuck that. I don't think you've had 6 turnovers in 6 games combined. Like, you just ain't here. And I wasn't, actually. He had a good point. But anyway, yeah, I'm even with, like my nieces and nephews, I'm correcting shit.
Okay,
But I don't know if I'm letting their mamas correct my shit. My kids. Okay. I'm just being honest.
All right.
But I'm like that with everybody, though, because again, it's like I gotta know your approach, bro. I parent my kids a certain way, right? I really don't ever have to raise my voice at my kids. Jordan gets me every once in a while. 'Cause she's
you keep saying it like she just don't run your ass.
Yeah, but she I find myself like
I've actually heard you raise your voice.
Yeah. So it's like
my kids. I especially with my older kids, I was very aggressive, not physically, but just like with my voice with my older kids.
And we both had deep voices too, though.
Yeah,
so it's
too much so sometimes. I was, I scaled that back over the years, but with Liam, I had to whip his ass one time, and my point is, if you have to whip your kid's ass, you do it good enough where you should never have to do it again.
Yeah,
and the reason I did it with Liam is because he was doing shit that was like not good character shit, and so I tore his ass up at the office, and so I've never even had to come close again. There was one time when it maybe was trending in that direction. You remember what happened at the office? Keep fucking around. So, but he's a good kid. He's not, you know.
I bet when you gave him whooping, you were probably in the wrong.
Of course you would think that. Yeah. You know, you can correct everybody's kids and do all that. No, I can tell you the story. So we were at the office, and he was fucking, you know, doing his thing, and everybody in the office plays with him and takes, you know, just treats him like fucking, you know, great. And so there was Gary, who's the sweetest guy in the world. Gary was playing with him all day, and Liam had, you know, those corrector ribbons, you know, the whiteouts, and he had unraveled it, and it was on the floor, right? And he had kind of been being a little prick the whole day, but he was running around. I said, Liam, what's this? And he was all, and giving me the I don't know thing. I was like, well, what is this? He goes, Gary did it. He blames it on Gary.
How old was he?
He was probably like 7.
Wow.
And again, it wasn't only that, but he was like, first he lied and said it wasn't him. Then he blamed the guy that had been taking care of him all day. I said, take your ass in the office. And I tore his ass up, but I explained to him why. I said, not only did you lie, but then you threw the guy under the bus who's been
having your back.
Been having your back. So that was a lesson I had to give him. Don't do that shit, man.
That was good.
Don't do that shit. Yeah, so I wasn't in the wrong.
We actually had a situation similar like that with Josiah, kind of recent actually, where he lied about something, and his mom handled it before. This is how she does it, and I appreciate this, right? Like she scolds him, and then, or she'll just text me like, "I need you to have a talk with Josiah."
Right,
and
that happens.
I'm like, all right, about what? Yeah. She'll tell me whatever happened. I'm like, okay. So, with Josiah, I talk to him in person. Like, we're not gonna do the FaceTime or phone thing. So, all right, when he sees me, I'll remember to bring this up.
Feel that energy.
Right. Yeah. And see, Josiah's the type, he doesn't like getting in trouble. Right. So it's like, as soon as it's time to talk, waterworks. Immediately.
That's funny.
Immediately, bro. Jordan has that too, though. My kids can cry on command, bro. On command.
Does it work? Sometimes. With
Josiah, I was kind of the same way. I was kind of the same way growing up. Like, I cried when I lost any game in sports. Like, I was.
That's gonna be so fucking awesome when you cry.
I had like, I used to get teased for being a crybaby.
That's funny.
Right? With Josiah, I've learned to be really patient with it because I know he can't control it. I couldn't control it. And with Jordan, she uses it more for manipulation than Josiah ever did, in my opinion. He's just super emotional. And it's like, and like, we could be talking about anything, right, and he's gonna start crying.
I got you. Liam does that too sometimes.
Like, even baseball. Why aren't you? I don't know, and I could just see the tears building up. You know what I mean? But anyway, Jordan does the little princess shit where she puts the sad face on. Please,
right. She knows it's gonna work.
Yeah, but. So his mom, Josiah's mom, usually does a good job at, and what she uses me is, she's very worrisome. So for her, if he hurts himself, she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna always tell her, like, bro, you have to remain calm. If you freak out, he's gonna freak out.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, I've had that.
So, but she does a really good job at like taking teachable moments, and like she's the parent, like she takes his phone from him today, like, oh, you ain't watching YouTube, you ain't doing this. I don't do that. I just have to fucking talk. Don't let it happen again. This is how, as a man, if
it happens again though, you don't take anything away ever?
I've never had to take anything from him. Right. I've never had to but majority of that is because he spends most of the time with his mom because he's in school 5 days a week. So he's really only with me in the summer or when he's out of school. So that might be the weekends. So he's usually with her more. So by the time he's come to me, the punishment or whatever is probably over.
Now, do you ever have to talk to him about, does he try to get away with more shit with his mom?
Nah.
Okay.
Josiah's not very sneaky.
I don't mean like that way. I just mean because that's what Liam does. Like he pushes the envelope with his mom more than me, and she might call and say, I need you to talk to Liam, and I'll be like, what's going on? Why you not listening to your mom? Type of thing. And I always tell him that's some punk shit. You wouldn't do that with me. If you're gonna buck up with me.
Nah, he won't
buck up with your mom because that's easy.
Right. Nah, he doesn't. Josiah doesn't do that at all. Now, I think his mom is more strict than I am, though. I'm very lenient, almost too, like, his mom gives him a bedtime, all that. Josiah has to break day at my house. Like, but I also know he's not gonna go get a cookie without permission. He's not gonna touch in.
I busted Liam the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's funny because that annoys me with Josiah. Like,
right, you want him to sometimes do something out.
Like, bro, don't wake me up out of a nap to ask me for some chips, bro. Just go get the damn chips.
That's hilarious.
Or it's like one time, because he's mature, just like Liam. So if I have to come here, I'll leave him at the house by himself. One time I didn't answer the phone or whatever. And I get home, he sends me a text. The text made no sense. So I'm thinking, okay, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
I get home, he's upstairs in my room at the old house. He's upstairs and he's on the phone with his grandmother on his mom's side. And I hear him say, "Oh, my daddy's home," or whatever. So then he gets off the phone, and I'm like, and she was like in the store, and I'm like, "Well, what? Why are you on the phone with your nanny? Like, what?" He starts crying, and he's like, "Well, I was scared because I was on the phone with his cousin. I was on the phone with so and so who's his cousin, and he told me a tornado was coming." And I'm like, "Well, Josiah, why didn't you call me?" "Oh, you were filming." And it's like, but do you know that filming isn't more important than your safety? To me,
right.
Whenever if you feel like you're in danger about something, I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. You stop and you call me.
Right.
And I said, "I saw your text, but the text didn't make sense." He said, "Yeah, I realized that after you didn't text me back, I went and I realized that I missed." I don't know if because sometimes he talks to text.
Yeah.
So the text literally made no sense. So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. It was an accident. Not thinking it's an emergency, but what happened was he got scared, so he called his mom. Mm-hmm. Then, well, why you at home by yourself? Then, so she's at work, so she can't sit on the phone with him until daddy gets home. So then she tells him, "Call your nanny." So then he calls his grandmother. So she's just sitting on the phone with him so he can be comfortable until I get home. I don't know how long they didn't been on this damn phone. And then, so I'm sitting there like, bro, are you serious right now? Like you're with me. Like, why didn't you?
Right. No.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and that was fairly recent. Yeah. That was like, I was here. I've had the studio for a little over 2 years now. No, a little over a year and a half or whatever. So yeah, that was fairly recent when that happened. Right. And I'm just like, he has like this paranoia thing, right? And a part of it is my fault because I was watching that show Criminal Minds. Mm-hmm. You know that show? Mm-mm. So Criminal Minds is like an FBI show where they profile serial killers and track them down and catch them or whatever. And I will be downstairs watching it on my main TV, but we have a video game TV also. So when he's playing a video game, I don't have to turn my TV off. Mm-hmm. So he's playing a video game, Jordan's doing her thing, I'm watching my show, and we all in our own little world. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that he's paying attention
to it. Right.
So when he gets home, his mom is like, "Hey, do you know what's going on with Josiah? He's super paranoid." Wow. He hears a sound and he's like, "What is that? Wow. Do you hear that? What is that?" And I'm like, and she's like, "I think it's this show that I'm watching called," she's watching a show called like 911 or something, where they're doing like EMT response calls or shit. So we're both putting them in this situation, but we're not realizing it.
Right.
So then he one day, the very next day or something, he tells me about his favorite character on the show that I'm watching. So I'm like, oh shit, he's paying attention.
Yeah.
And it's funny because his favorite character is this guy named Reed, who's like a super nerd, right? So then I have that conversation with him, and I'm like, bro, if Josiah is such a kid's kid that we could be sitting here having a conversation and he'll be over there and he's not ear hustling. He's not even trying to see what, how some kids are trying to see what the grown folks talking about. He's in his own, his own world. So I'm assuming that in this moment too, not realizing that he's taking some of this stuff in. Exactly. So anyway, that was another time we had a conversation. It's like, bro, like whenever you're uncomfortable about something, just tell me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, my main objective is to protect you. Yeah. I'm never gonna let anything bad happen to you, and like I'm gonna do my best to protect you in all aspects. So now we have this thing we do where it's like, we have a code word. So it's like, I don't give a fuck where you at, who you with. I don't care if it's grandma, pawpaw, whoever. If you uncomfortable for whatever reason, you either text me or your mom, whoever's closer. We're coming to you. straight up. And that made him feel better. He's like, okay. Because he Josiah dealt with like some bullying stuff with his cousins. And
I remember that.
Right. We talked about that. And so it's just, he's just a different type of kid when it comes to just, me raising him. And
right.
So it's like,
I get it. So you it's like no one will have that context if they were trying to like correct him.
Exactly. So when it comes down to it, even talking to his baseball coach, it's like Josiah's a thinker. I teach him to question everything, but why? Like if it doesn't make sense to him, he can't process it. So it's like when you tell him to, be 2 steps off of first base when you're on first base and the next batter is up, you lead. You kind of give yourself a lead. You got to explain to him why. You can't just tell him that. You know what I mean? But once you tell him why, he's going to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it has to make sense to him in his head. Otherwise, he's not going to do it. So, yeah, that's kind of why.
I get that.
And I parent him a certain way.
I get that.
So it's like not everybody.
But I get that. And that is where it gets touchy.
But the reason why I'm okay with somebody like you is because I know how Liam is. He and Liam are so similar in so many ways that they're different. They're different than most kids. Right. So
and I would only take it to a certain level. Like if I was correcting them, I would take it to a level of just like getting it at a balance, and then I would reach out to you.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For
like,
sure.
I would never take it to I would never discipline him the way I discipline Liam.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was just remembered what the little lie he told recently was. There was some brownies, a plate of brownies, and when I went to go work out, there was 4 brownies. I came back, there was 3. What? And I was like, bro, what's up with? I said, you ate a brownie while I was gone, and he said no, and I said, hey, bro, listen. If you ate the fucking brownie, and I cuss.
Right.
If you ate the fucking brownie, tell me you ate the fucking brownie.
Right.
But don't lie to me. You remember what happened at the office. And so he admitted eating it. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to let that pass because you came with the truth right away.
But don't do that
That's your dessert for the night. You're not going to, when it's time for, don't try to double up on dessert.
Yeah.
I went, you know what I mean? That's like, I need to be able to trust you when I go downstairs to the gym. He's like, do you do this all the time that I go to the gym? And he's like, no. But yeah, shit like that. You know what I mean? For me, it's about, are you being a quality person? It ain't even about eating the fucking brownie.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's about the trust that when I go downstairs, you're not doing something you're not supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
So
it's dope, though.
It was dope. This is really, really good. I don't have last words, but I want to share this. I don't know if this is going to come out beforehand, but this is a really important event that happens every year in San Francisco, run by, United Players is? Rudy, you don't know United Players? It's a great program in the city that takes people when they get out of jail and works on them for reentry. But this is a gun buyback. Our streets are flooded with so much fucking guns. So on December 9th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the city, at the United Players headquarters at 1038 Howard, it's a gun buyback. $100 for a handgun, $200 for an assault weapon, no questions asked. You turn the gun in and get them off the street, man. So
that's dope.
These statistics were really interesting to me. 1 in 3 homes with children have guns, and a lot of them are left unlocked and loaded. So a lot of accidents that happen at our home are because of that. On an average day, 100 Americans are killed with guns.
Wow.
Every day, 100 Americans that die.
That's insane.
This is the one that really got me. The presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation increases the risk of the woman being killed by 5 times.
Shit.
The presence of a gun in domestic violence increases the risk of women being killed by 5 times.
That's insane.
62% of firearm-related deaths in the U.S. are suicides. That's crazy. So this is an important event. Spread the word. If you have a piece, a stick, whatever you want to call it, that you're trying to get rid of, or you just bring it on down here and they'll get rid of it for you. United Players annual gun buyback. That's you got words for the day?
No, man, this was dope. I'll just I'm gonna make that a clip and get that to you ASAP, because this full episode won't be out before December. But I'll
shout out Rudy and the whole crew at United Players. Been doing that shit for years. Really
That's
important.
super dope.
Yeah.
That's super dope. My closing words is just kind of based around, we talked a lot about parenting today. Aside from me kicking your ass in some basketball related events. But yeah, I just think, when it comes to parenting, everybody takes their tools and kind of their experiences and does it their way. I don't think there are, obviously there isn't a manual on it. There isn't, a right or wrong way to do most things when it comes to being a parent.
No, there's no manual.
Right. So I just always tell people, and I kind of wish that I kind of had these conversations before having kids with people. Luckily, both of my situations worked out, but it's like, before you reproduce with someone, and that's a serious step,
man. Right?
And some of these
conversations, no one ever has those conversations,
ever, bro, ever. Nope. And I think a lot of the times when you think of the baby mama, baby daddy drama that we're all so familiar with, I think that's part of the reason why is because a lot of these conversations where it's like, well, how do you feel about this? Religion and. So how do you feel about the education system? There's so many conversations that should be had before you have a kid, and we just don't have them. So I say that to say, I just think it's important that we do start having the uncomfortable conversations with our partners, with our kids. We talked about having sex talk with daughters. Like that I learned a lot from that conversation, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And just having those conversations helps you to open your mind up to ways and things that you might not have thought of. And I just think that's so important.
It is.
When it comes to connecting with human beings on any level, let alone your kids or a person that you're, spending a lot of time with romantically. But I just think it's important to, take from everybody's experiences around you and kind of, form your formula and, the way you approach things and handle things, and, realize that it's just as long as you're doing the best you can. And then on the flip side, when it comes to, our parents, realizing that they kind of did the best they could with what they had, what they went, just knowing, who knows what they went through at the times they were living on all these things. But I just know so many people who, have, bad relationships with their parents for whatever reason. Right. And some of it is granted though. No. Even that side of it, right? It's like, sometimes just like the kids can be assholes, your parents could be a bad person.
You're saying I'm just the asshole in the situation?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, every chance I get to call you an asshole, I'm going to take it.
You're going to take Phil's fucking side.
But yeah, man, I just think it's important, for all of us to do what we feel is best, in that moment. Learn from our decisions, mistakes, successes, all of those things. And man, just overall, just be kind. Be kind to ourselves, be kind to others, be kind to strangers.
With kids.
Yes, conversate. I almost corrected you.
No, that's dope.
But yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got for us today.
Well, I know I was supposed to be done, but I just want to all bullshit and jokes and horse shit aside, bro. You are one of the most amazing fathers I've ever seen.
I appreciate that.
Just listen.
Right back at you.
Just
right
listen.
Back at you too.
Nah, for real, bro. Like watching you with your kids when y'all come over, especially the Jordan thing. I mean, the Josiah thing. When you come over,
it's like I don't even exist no more.
I don't exist either. Liam and Josiah, it's Legos and fuck all y'all.
Right.
But like. Watching you with Jordan, bro, like it damn near fucking breaks me down in a good way. Like, obviously I think of my daughter, but it's just like, it's so beautiful, bro.
I appreciate that.
And I just love watching that. And I will say this too, not to get too political, but it just reinforces because I grew up where I grew up, the stereotypes of a black father have always been bullshit. It's bullshit because some of the greatest fathers I've ever seen was black men. And I don't know too many black men and women whose fathers wasn't in their life. This idea that all these black fathers are absent, I don't buy it, bro.
Right, same here.
I've never bought it.
Same here.
I've never fucking bought it.
Same here.
They might not live in the house,
Yep.
but that's most fucking kids, regardless of race. Yep. So you are an amazing father, and I just wanted to put that out there because I see that narrative still exists to this day.
And you almost wonder how.
I just don't, I don't, it's bullshit, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but you're an amazing father.
I appreciate that, brother.
I'm honored to fucking know you and be your brother and watch you do your thing, man.
I appreciate that. And you know it's vice versa, man.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, obviously, always giving me the game, man.
Shit.
And I hate that sometimes you do be right, bro. I'm going to say that. Since we giving compliments, sometimes you be right.
If by sometimes you mean most of the time.
No. See, you always got to stretch it, bro. You always got to stretch it, man.
Pause.
That is a pause. Well, we out.